This is the last of 4 videos showing how the statistical package Tinkerplots might be used to explore this Ulster Rugby dataset. Here's question 8. In general, do the tallest players also tend to be the heaviest? So I'll need to look at height and weight together, something that can be done using a scatter graph. I'll open up the plot window and place a plot here. And start by dragging height onto the horizontal axis. And again I'll select any one of the dots and drag it to the right to see the full scale of heights. And then I'll take the weights column and drag that onto the vertical axis. And this time I'll take one of the dots and drag it upwards to see the full scale of weights. And you can see, if I open the window a little, you can see that there is a pattern there. The dots tend to run from bottom left to top right. Let me draw that on with the drawing tool. That's the general pattern. What this means is that these shorter players tend to be lighter and these taller players tend to be heavier. I'll just take that drawing off now. But there are exceptions. Take that player. You can see that that is Rodney Ayew, and he is actually the heaviest player in the squad, but by no means the tallest. And this player is Jacob Stockdale, who's one of the tallest players, but by no means the heaviest. And now question 9. Are the forwards heavier than the backs? Are they taller than the backs? Now, there's a problem with this question. If you look at the positions listed here, there's no clear indication which are forwards and which are backs. I'll need to insert a new column that spells out which is which. So if I click this new heading and I'll type in forward back, and I'll drag it across so that it sits alongside position, it's more convenient there. I can start to key in which of these positions are forward positions and which are back. For instance, prop is a forward, F, hooker is a forward, F, centre is a back, B, hooker is a forward, and so on. Now I've actually done this beforehand, so if I go into the other data set, you'll see I've completed the job. And I'll start with a new plot now. So let's try height. If I take height and drag it onto the horizontal, and then drag a point to get a scale, and then take this column forward back and drag it to the vertical axis. And you can see that it has pulled apart the forwards and the backs. The forwards are represented in green and the backs in purple. And looking at the patterns here, there doesn't seem to be a huge difference between the heights of the forwards and the heights of the backs. But the forwards are definitely taller, and in particular, the 6 tallest players are all forwards. Let me put on an average and we'll see it more clearly. I'll click this mean symbol, the triangle, and you can see that the mean height of the backs here is about 182.5. For the forwards, it's about 188.5. So on average, the forwards seem to be about 6 centimetres taller than the backs. Okay, that was the heights. Let's try it for weights. I'll drag the weights column onto the horizontal axis and let go. And now this is very different. the differences are now much more marked. The mean weight for the backs is about 92.6 and the mean weight for the forwards is around 111. Almost all the backs are lighter than all the forwards, but there's one exception. This player, Stuart McCloskey, who weighs 113 kilograms, is actually heavier than the majority of the forwards. So these are just some of the ways you can investigate this Ulster Rugby dataset using Tinkerplots.